Why is it important for you all to be here together?
I think for us, we've talked a lot about what do we want people to know about our adoption. And I think the main thing for us is we want to make everybody realize that it is complicated. It's not simple and this perfect little, package. It's emotional, it's dramatic sometimes, but it's just life. And we have to figure it out together. And if we are on the same page, and like Emma said, if we have our children in the forefront, that we want the best for them, everything else seems to fall into place. We still have things that we work through. We still have struggles and emotional things. We still go to therapy. That's just part of life in general, whether or not you adopt. Yeah. I think everyone needs support. But if we have a team and we can work together instead of against one another, I think a lot of times a fear is that adoptive parents and birth parents will fight one another. And if you can remove that portion and realize you're actually fighting for the same thing, that's a huge, huge blessing in your lives, and can be in your lives.
Yeah. And I would say that, because the reason it's important to us to have a relationship, and for me to have the opportunity to have a relationship with our daughter is, I know in all cases, this isn't necessarily like the case for everyone, but I truly do believe open adoption can be a great option for the adoptee, because it allows the child to claim their identity in a way and to pursue, and not every open adoption looks the same, right? And semi-open, right? And not to paint a broad brush, it is unique for everyone, but at the end of the day, we all want to know where we're from. We're all at least curious. I mean, there's a reason things like Ancestry DNA are so popular. People are just curious, whether or not they want a relationship with their birth parents. They're just curious. And I personally believe that it's important to give the adoptee the information and opportunity. Our daughter will get to choose if she wants a relationship with me when she's older. I'm not going to force that on her. I would love it, but I'm available, and at least she has that option. And that's important. Is I don't want our daughter to ever feel ashamed that she's adopted, or there's some secrecy involved in her identity, that she was ever not wanted. And so now she gets the full picture as much, and gets to know as much as she wants. And so to have that available, I think, is really important, because we wouldn't have an open adoption if we didn't think it was beneficial to her.
Interesting. Have you prepared yourself for that possibility, as slight as it is? Probably
too much, actually. And I think that was a huge part of my grieving, yes. It's never over, grieving process, is I never expected her to love me. I never expected her to look at me the way she does. I never expected, there's this sweet story of after Rachel had told her that I was her tummy mommy, I think she was 2, it had come up in conversation about babies, being in their mommy's tummies, and she's like, well, sweetie, you were in Miss Emma's tummy. And, little, so it wasn't complicated. There were no follow-up questions, she was little, and I see her, I come out to spend some time with them, and again, she's 2, maybe 3, but she runs up to me, gives me a hug, and says, thank you for being my mommy. And then ran off. And again, people will be like, oh my gosh, she called you mom, and did that upset you? She didn't continue to call me mom, she calls me Miss Emma. And of course, Rachel in her graciousness that didn't bother her, but I never in a million years would have ever thought she would give me such a kind title that I thought I gave away, or that she would thank me, especially at that age, it's just remarkable. And for the way she adores me. I could have never, and so for me, I always thought, even though we were doing open adoption, I prepared for the opposite, where she would never reciprocate a love.